Welcome back to the Dillon Higgins Show. This is episode 2. Right off the bat, I do want to say we are in a new location. Just different spot in my fucking house. Because last week we were downstairs because my family was out of the house visiting some other people in our family. And it's like that again this weekend. So I just kind of decided, might as well do it in the kitchen, dining room area. Why not, Another super janky setup. I need to talk directly into this fucking mic. And I want to apologize because I recorded last week's episode in a super, how do I say this? It was insanely not planned. I wrote down 6 things. I have a fucking list here, detailed list, because last week was a disaster. Because I was just fucking saying, using fucking as a placeholder, which I do anyways, just for that emphasis, just fucking, But it was way more than usual. See, I'm still fucking doing it. I can't not, I'm just not good at this. So, since last week, I went back to work, and I was not looking forward to that, because I had a week and a half off. Or wait, shit. Yeah, because I went back that Tuesday after I posted that episode. Went back to work, and that was just... If you're just listening, I'm shaking my head with my eyes closed. I did not enjoy working at all. No one enjoys working. But working in retail, especially right now, I mean, it's nowhere near, fucking healthcare or any of that shit. But I've been dealing with some of the dumbest fucking people on planet Earth. I think it was my second day back. I think it was on Thursday. Because, first day was Tuesday. I have Wednesdays off. And I went on Thursday. And where I work, we have limits on specific things. And this specific brand of items, we can limit 1 per customer, right? So this dude wanted, I want to say it was 3 things. And they were very expensive things. So that would total up to $1,000. Or no, he wanted 1 thing that was $1,100, right? And I told him we didn't have it. So then he named 3 things that total up to about the same. So in my mind, he's a reseller. And where I work, we're explicitly told we cannot sell to resellers. So we have a policy in place for everyone that we can sell 1 of that item, regardless of what it is. And I told him this because he named those 3 things, and I was like, sorry, we're only doing 1 per, this. And he looks at me, he's like, but I need all of it. I was like, sorry, dude, it's the policy. I can't change that. And then he looks at me, and like I said, this is for absolutely everyone that comes into this place. It's not, it's not specific to resellers. If we have someone that we think is a reseller, we don't have that policy specifically for them. It's just for everyone in case they are a reseller. So he looks at me and he's like, is that for everyone or is that just for me? Is there some racism going on? And in my mind, or after the fact, I wanted to be like, man, it really sucks that you would have to think that that's the case, because everything that's going on in the world, I don't want to put off that vibe. It's just a policy. I can't change that, regardless. So in my mind, I'm like, dude, it really sucks that someone would think that I'm telling them they can't do something out of like hate or like like whatever it is. Like, I'm just telling you that because it's my job, and if I change the rules, I will get fired. But in the moment, I was just so done with the other stupid people that I was dealing with that day. And I was just like, no, man, that's for everyone. Like, just very clear and concise. That is the policy for everyone. And he's just like, okay, and walks away. And I could not stop thinking about that, because in my head I'm like, how did I make him think that was the reasoning? Like, it wasn't at all. But at the same time, like, was he a reseller? Like, I don't know. There's no way for us to know. So, like, if he was being genuine in that question, like, that really sucks. But at the same time, if he was just trying to get a reaction and, like, trip me into changing the policy, like, there's no way of knowing. So it's like a double-edged sword. I can't really do anything about that. So, I mean, on top of that, like, we get people that are pissed that, we don't have certain things. I'm just like, dude, I'm not in charge of the inventory. Like, I can't just poof, it's here now. Like, I can't do that. And I don't know. It's kind of, until like everything is over with, I don't think it's going to get any better. Because people just get dumber and dumber every day that I'm at work. And like over the past, like the reason I took a week and a half off, I'm not really sure if I explained this last week or not. I honestly didn't listen to it after I recorded it. I just kind of edited it together, synced it with the video, and put it up. But yeah, if like the reason I took a week and a half off was because I was just kind of losing it at work. Like, just being barraged with not only questions, seeing people every day, being essentially verbally assaulted every day, just being called, essentially, like, basically being called useless multiple times a day. And if you don't work in retail, or just in general you don't know what that's like, I think of myself as someone that can generally just kind of let things go for the most part. But when that happens, that actually like eats at me. Like, having people not like me for no other reason than just they don't. I don't know why it genuinely bothers me. Because I'm like, I feel like I'm a pretty likable person. But this person who has no idea who I am, they see me as someone who works here, someone that is essentially less than them, because I have to essentially fucking serve them. And because I can't give them what they want, they think less of me. Like, how fucked up is that? Yeah. So it was really just, I took a vacation out of genuine exhaust and frustration and just feeling like absolute shit every single day that I came into work. And on top of that, like I had a couple things with some friends that just made me feel even more like shit. I'm going to grab my phone real quick. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, like it was just not cool. That whole experience being back at work. Thankfully, I'm off today, and I have 2 set vacation, or not vacation days, but 2 days off. And those help a little bit. And like our hours and stuff are being cut back pretty significantly. At least mine are. But they're starting to rise a little bit. Okay, dude. Fucking echo just went off. But like having some days off is really nice. But Jesus. Some people, man. But outside of that, I sent out a bunch of emails to different places like in my area. Because I remember specifically I talked about in like the first 30 seconds that I am shit. Fucking yawning at 6 p.m. That's awesome. Oh yeah, I'm recording this the day before it goes up because I'm working tomorrow. And I doubt I'm going to wake up early enough to record this and get it up by 2. Because that's like my set upload time for everything, just 2 p.m. But outside of that, I sent out a bunch of emails to places around me if they like wanted video work. And I sent that probably two weeks ago, maybe. And sent out probably 15 emails. And then I sent, I received one back 2 weeks later from a DJ. He was like, hey, man, I'm a pretty small company, but, when I'm talking to clients and stuff, I'll, let them know that I have someone, or that I know someone that does, like, video work. And I was like, sick. And he asked me, like, my prices and everything. And honestly, at first, I was going to be like, hey, man, no price right now. I'm just trying to get into the business. But I was like, it depends on the type of event. Because I'm assuming, because I couldn't find like all the events and stuff, like his packages or anything like on his website. So in my head, I'm like, well, it would depend on the event. It would depend on how long the event is. Dogs are barking. Stop. Oh, quick cutaway, okay? I love animals. I love animals to death. I love animals more than people. But lately, my dogs and cats have been pissing me off. I love them to death. But everything they do annoys me. Like, right when I was trying to set up to record this, I let my dogs out probably an hour ago, right? And I'm recording for about 15 minutes already. So I'll let them out every hour, like probably every couple hours, because they're not puppies anymore. They're not shitting and pissing all over the place. Like, they can chill for a couple hours. So I let them out about an hour ago. And I get up here. They sprint towards the door. So I let them out. They do not leave the deck. They come back to the door and start clawing at the door. I'm just like, what? You just wanted to go out. I let you out, and you don't fucking do anything? What is that bullshit? And then my cat, because I left the door open, I filled up my water. Like, a bunch of bugs get in here. Or not a bunch, like 2 flies get in here. And then they're just buzzing around. That's pissing me off. Because one of the main things that pisses me off is, like, the sound of buzzing. I don't know what it is. Just bzzz from anything just pisses me off to no end. Like, it can be an AC unit. It can be fucking fans, bugs. Anything that buzzes, I hate with a passion. Sorry. And, yeah, that was just awful. So then I got mad at the animals. And I started sweating, so I changed into shorts. I never wear shorts. It's also hot outside, and I'm right next to a sliding door. I was like, fuck, man. It's hotter than Satan's balls in here. And I was trying to hook up a fan, but I have a light here, and, like, I can't have it towards me and plugged in, because it would be facing the cord's not long enough, so I'm just like, fucking shit. Just not good. And, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Dude asked me about prices. I was just like, man, it would depend on the type of event, how long the event is, what kind of video they want, like length and stuff like that. So I tell him, I was like, well, because I don't think I'm there yet. You know, I've been, in theory, I know, like, film theory, right? I know, how to set up a composition. I know, what makes a good composition. In theory, what makes good lighting. When to use different frame rates and focal lengths and stuff like that. Putting it in practice, I still need experience of that. So I was going to be like, well, so I said I'll charge on the low side, around, like $500, depending. Because, and that sounds like a lot, to anyone who doesn't know, like, business practice of, like, videography and freelancing and shit like that. It sounds like a lot. But when you when you factor in all the work that I would be doing, I'd be spending money to go there. I spent money on my gear. That would cover my time at the event, editing, my gear that I brought, any rentals. So that's about, 6 reasons to pay me. And if I need certain pieces of gear that I don't already have, like I said, I would have to rent them. And, like, a good, like, standard lens, because I probably couldn't use any of the lenses I have. I would have to rent one. And it's not expensive to rent gear. Like, it's $60 to rent a 17 to 55 millimeter constant aperture lens. For my camera. So it's not, and that's for a week. Like, 7 days, $60 for that lens. And it's a really nice lens. It's like it's like camera shit. Okay. Lenses are insanely expensive. They're almost always more expensive than the camera body itself. So when I talk about a relatively cheap lens, that's going to be around $500-$600. So this lens is relatively cheap. It's like $750. And that's not because I'm fucking rich, because I am poor as hell. I am ridiculously, I do not have money. I'm 19. I probably have like 17-year-old money right now. Retail job, minimum wage, shit like that. I've been there for about a year. I've actually been there about a year. Oh my God, like 11 months, something like that. Because I started August 26th. It's July 24th. So I've been there about a year. It's crazy. But, yeah, I don't have money. So I'm talking, like, in the grand scheme of things, lenses and camera shit is fucking expensive. Even if you buy it used. All my shit is pretty much used except for my first camera and lens kit. I bought the T6i with a 18 to 55 millimeter lens. and that was, I want to say, $600 from Best Buy. And then I bought the 80D for around $550 used, even though they sent me a new one. I bought it used. This lens, the 10 to 20 millimeter, I bought it used for like $200. It's originally like $500. So like camera shit's expensive. And so I would need, a new a lens to rent for that time. And I could charge, the exact amount to, pay for the lens to buy it. But then I would have no money for actually doing the event. So, I mean, I guess it would be an okay investment. But if I just do $500, $60 from that, getting $540, getting there and back would probably be... The cat just grabbed one of the flies, and he's eating it. He ate it. All right. So getting there and back, depending, let's just say it'd be $100, $50 there, $50 back for an Uber. Probably wouldn't be that, but let's just say that's $160 out of pocket. So that's that's $340 in my pocket, right? Yeah, $340 for that event, and that is not very much when you're talking about videography, because most places, though, they would probably charge you about easily $1,000, and those are probably like medium, let's just say low skill, medium skill, high skill. That's probably medium skill. Super professional, that'd be probably on the closer to $5,000. So getting $340 for a video job, fucking nothing. That's not gonna pay off any gear. That would pay for this lens. That's it. That would pay for this lens and probably an extra battery for this camera. That's not shit. So, charging that, I know I'm still at a loss for all my video stuff. Like, putting it back in. Because I guess, my job can technically pay for that, but, as of paying for it with video work, I'm still at a loss. So, I know that, and I can just focus on being less shit. And when I actually have some work that I'm proud of, then, I can, start raising the bar and be like, hey, you want shit that doesn't suck? Give me money. And my hope, I don't know. I would love to be doing just freelance stuff forever, not have to really work for anyone but myself. Be able to pay other people to help me out with stuff. That'd be awesome. But probably won't happen for a while, and that's fine. Because, fucking 19. But I just tweeted about this before I started recording. I bought a new light panel. A new daylight panel. Was it daylight or was it bicolor? I think it might have been bicolor. Let me check real quick. By that I mean, there are two, there are more than two, but there are a bunch of different, terms for lights, especially, video light panels, stuff like that. There's RGB, daylight, bicolor, and tungsten. Bicolor is just daylight mixed with tungsten, and a lot of times they use two different sets of LEDs, daylight to match, daylight, and tungsten to match this light that I'm here. That's the more orange light, whereas daylight is more white light. You can think of it like cooler and warm light. a lot of times they use two different sets of LEDs. So, and you can mix them. They would use two different dials. And if you're using strictly daylight, you're only using half the LEDs. If you're using strictly tungsten, you're only using half the LEDs. So it's like a lot more dim, but you can mix them, and that uses everything, and it's a lot brighter, but it's mixed daylight and tungsten. It just looks fucking weird. But some panels, are able to switch it through a setting, like digitally, like it's built in there, and it just uses just clear LEDs and shoot like an orange light through it and like cool light. And so I'm talking a lot of camera shit this episode, so you're fucking welcome. If that's not your thing, I don't give a fuck, dude. This is my show. Pussy. But I just bought that. It's a really cheap one, pretty small light. And I'll probably have to grab a couple more, but I just want to try it out. I had to get the light, which is $37, and a battery, which I think was $34. So, yeah, I'll probably have to pick up another light and battery. Or no, I think my battery comes with two, so I should be good with that. I might just have to pick up. Oh no, I probably should pick up another light and another set of batteries. I don't know. What I do need is more batteries for this fucking camera, but these things are fucking expensive, dude. Holy shit. For the Canon brand, they're like $80 a battery. Fuck, dude. If I'm doing any kind of events, like, thankfully, the battery life on this thing is fucking insane. Let me see. Canon 80D battery life. They're always labeled in fucking shots. I don't... Stop it. These are LPE6. How? LPE6N battery life. Fucking, this is not saying anything that matters. 800 shots on a single charge. That doesn't mean shit to me, okay? That doesn't mean shit to me. Whatever. But I need new batteries. Oh, the fucking camera stopped. Let me restart that. Sorry for the black screen. Let me just snap to sync that real quick. Dude, I'm in like a leather chair right now. Leather dining chair. And my legs are sticking to it. So it sounds like I'm shitting myself every time I move. Because I sit one leg crossed under the other. I don't know. It's more comfortable to me, even though my foot always ends up going to sleep. I don't give a shit. But I was also looking at new phones. Because I'm really bad with fucking money. I said this before. I'm so bad with money. But I was looking at new phones. Because I talked to a guy who worked with Samsung. And he was telling me about a new phone that they're about to launch or something like that. Samsung 2020 phone. Yeah, the Note 20. He was talking to me about that a little bit. I don't know if I can say what he told me. I don't know. But I don't know what all is public about it. I haven't read about it. I only talked to him. But then we started talking about just like the S20 Plus and Ultra. And if I was going to get a new phone, there are two that I'm thinking about. The S20 Plus and the OnePlus 8 Pro. Because OnePlus, if you don't know, they're Android phones. Because I'm big on Android. Not a huge fan of Apple OS. iOS is just kind of to me. I like a lot of customization, and they're just straight out of the box. This is what you get. Can't really do much to it. And that's super, that's cool for people who don't care about customization. But that's not me, I want to be able to change, whatever I want in the phone. And Apple just started adding, what is it, home screen widgets and stuff like that. It's like, how fucking far behind are you? I had an LG phone, 4 years ago that had that shit. I'm like, what? But, yeah. Fucking, the S20 Plus looks really good. As, someone who does a lot of pictures and videos, that shit has 5 cameras on it. Just on the back, that shit has 5 fucking cameras. Or no, might be 4 on the back, 1 front-facing. And the front-facing is a 10 megapixel, which isn't crazy. That's still really high resolution. But compared to cameras now, really not that good. But on the back it has two 12 megapixel, so that's a little better than a 64 megapixel camera. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And that shit shoots 8K. 8K, dude. So, in any event, I just need a phone. Or if I just don't have my camera, or I just want to shoot 8K, that shoots 8K 24 frames. So it's a perfect fucking cinematic phone. And I was like, what are you doing, Samsung? Take my money. Does 240 frames slow-mo too? Even though I think most phones now do 240 slow-mo, or at least 120 slow-mo. So, I mean, it's still good to have. And that's full HD. Damn. But that phone's $1,200. I'm still on my parents' plan, so I don't, depending on how much it is to jump from my phone to that one. Even though I think mine's paid off. I've had this shit for 3 years, 2.5, something like that. I don't know. But the other one, the OnePlus 8 Pro, OnePlus phones have gotten really good, and they're a lot cheaper than Samsung. This. Let me just go into the specs of this one. So if you don't care about specs, you're just not listening to this episode. We're a half an hour in. Fuck you. Or 40 minutes in, something like that. I don't know. What's it called? It has 3 cameras on the back. One is a 48 megapixel standard zoom camera. And most people, I'm going to talk about aperture right quick, because most cameras on the phones don't really state the aperture. They just say it's good for low light, which means it has, I always forget if it's a lower or higher maximum aperture. Because the lower the number, the better it is for low light. The more light it lets in. But this is an f2.2, or just maybe an f2, 48 megapixel standard camera lens. Then it has an 8 megapixel telephoto, which I want to say is an f2.2, and then a 48 megapixel ultra wide. So no matter if you're doing normal or ultra wide, you're at 48 megapixels. And it doesn't do 8K, but it does 4K 60. It doesn't do 24 frames. At least it didn't say it did. So you would either have to shoot 30, which seems like a home movie. I hate when people shoot in 30 frames. even 60 sometimes. Dude, just shoot 24. I don't need to see you like super smooth. It doesn't look real to me, honestly. Like when right after I watched a bunch of Matty Kapoya, Peter McKinnon, and I think Daniel Schiffer, those guys, 24 frames because they're filmmakers. I went and watched a Cody Ko video, one of my favorite comedians, on YouTube at least. One of my favorite comedians on YouTube. All of his videos are in 60 frames. And I'm watching it, and I don't like how it looks. 24 just looks so much better. Like, this is 24. If I shot in 60, it would just look fucked up. Because it just doesn't look natural. At least to me. I don't know. But, yeah. It doesn't do 8K. It does 4K 60, 4K 30. So, I mean, if I was doing a time lapse, I would shoot 4K 30. Because 30 is fine. You're just speeding it up anyways. But it does 240 slow-mo, so that's good. I don't know. But it's only $900 compared to $1,200 for the Samsung. If I wanted 8K, like, I would really be... What is that? That would be, what, 8 times? 8 times the camera quality for video in 24 frames. Two extra cameras. I don't know. I kind of want the 8K. That's a lot of money for a fucking phone. I don't know. I'll have to talk to my dad. See which one is, makes more sense. But what's called? Right before I started recording this, sorry. I always forget I need to be like right on this fucking thing. Right before I started recording this, I saw that Robert Rodriguez, who did like all of Spy Kids, he did Alita Battle Angel. Is it Alita or Akita? I think it's Alita Battle Angel. El Mariachi. Fucking Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Like all those movies. He did one Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which I think was 2005 or 2006. I love that movie, first off. George Lopez in that movie, probably my favorite part. Him as Mr. Electric, whose actual name is Mr. Electricidad. His puns, fucking A1. Like, if you've never seen it, the entire movie is based on this kid, Max, who has super creative dreams. Like, super creative. He built a whole fucking world in his dreams. And these two characters, Shark Boy and Lava Girl, he's, like, bullied because he has a dream journal and he writes all of his dreams in. But, joke's on everyone else. This shit's real. It's bending the fabric of time and reality. And, like, they bust into the real world. And these fucking dream characters, take him into a fucking rocket ship, and they fly to this fucking dream planet, and everything's real. Like, he dreamt all this shit. Shark Boy and Lava Girl. His fucking teacher is Mr. Electricidad, who's like in the dream is Mr. Electric, who's like this biggest fucking he's fucking electric. Like, he's in a glass box. It's just George Lopez's face green screened into a glass like bowl essentially. And just has like electricity arms and shit. It's a great movie. and he just talks in electricity puns. Like Arnold in Batman and Robin talked in ice puns. George Lopez talked in electricity puns. So there's one part where Shark Boy is like swimming through like this cold ass water. And he comes up, Mr. Electric is there. And he just goes, "What's up?" Like, what? God, that shit is... I don't know why it's so funny, but it's so funny. Oh, my God. By the way, Taylor Lautner and Taylor Dooley, who play Shark Boy and Lava Girl, obviously Taylor Lautner in fucking Twilight and all that shit, they might be some of the most attractive people on this planet. Like, I looked up a picture of Taylor Dooley, who played Lava Girl. I'm just like, how is someone that attractive? It's fucking ridiculous. But on Twitter, I saw that they're doing a sequel. And I am so down for that fucking movie. Like, I don't care if it's awful. I'm watching it because I fucking love the first one. I am 19 years old. I watched Shark Boy and Lava Girl probably 2 months ago. And I fucking loved it. God. But in my defense, I did go on like an old, I say classic Disney movies. They're classic to me because I'll be honest, I don't really care about the old Disney movies. Pinocchio, fucking Bambi, Cinderella. I don't give a shit. I'll be honest with you. I don't fucking care. Live action Disney Channel movies, I'll be honest with you, that's my shit. So I watched Camp Rock, Starstruck. I watched Camp Rock 1 and 2, Starstruck, 10 Things I Hate About You. Oh, God, what else did I watch? Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I don't know if Shark Boy and Lava Girl is Disney, but anyway. Shit. I watched those movies, and I fucking love them. Like, Camp Rock, This Is Me, and Gotta Find You. I listened to those last week. Just because. You know? I had to. They're just so good, man. Another thing that is just so good is Halo. The new Halo, Halo Infinite. Because they did the Halo, or the Xbox Game Showcase. Was that yesterday or 2 days ago? I think it might have been yesterday. I don't know. But Xbox showed off all the games that are going to be coming to the Series X when it launches. And Halo was the first one they showed. Because everyone's fucking waiting on Halo. And I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Halo fan. I played Halo 2, really enjoyed it. Halo 3, enjoyed it. Halo 2, I played mostly campaign, don't remember it. And what is it? Not LAN. I played custom match with either split screen or with we would do 4v4 with my now uncle. And that was a lot of fun. Halo 3, I jumped a little bit on multiplayer. Still really only did like split screen with like my brother and my dad and stuff like that. My dad was an asshole. He would always take player 1, be the biggest fucking dude on the screen. So it'd leave me and my brother with these tiny fucking boxes in the corners. I was like, fuck you, dude. And we had like a pretty small TV, so we didn't see shit. But Halo Infinite is fucking open world and on PC. Open world Halo, dude. Holy shit. Like, not only did I not really think they were going to do Halo on PC, even though, like, Microsoft owns fucking Windows. Like, it just took them so long. I was like, they're not going to fucking do it. Or if they do, it's going to be dog shit. Sorry. But it looks good. It looks really good. When fucking Master Chief's armor, like, loaded in, I was like, oh, fuck, dude. Oh, fuck. Open world Halo on PC. That's going to be fucking sick. A couple other games I did were Avowed. And that's pretty much just a Skyrim Avatar mix. Like, it's a first-person RPG kind of game. And my dog is looking at me. Whatever. It's a first-person RPG kind of game. It's like Skyrim. Really, dude? Really? Hi. Go lay down. Go lay down. It's a first-person RPG game. And it really just looks like Skyrim. Looks good, but it looks like Skyrim. Dude fucking goes in, like it loads with a dude with a sword, and he starts fucking doing symbols with his left hand. I'm like, okay. Skyrim. Cool. They did Forza as well, and it looks like Forza. Not a big Forza guy, honestly. Could care less. They did, what is it? Multiplayer Tetris or something like that. And that's just a Tarkov trainer. If you don't know, Escape from Tarkov, one of the greatest games ever made. It pisses me off, and I haven't played it in a while, but it's one of the greatest games ever made. They also did Stalker 2, which I need to play Stalker because I love Escape from Tarkov so much. So Stalker's essentially Tarkov, but scarier because there's like monsters and shit. And I'm down for that. I'll play that. And one of the streamers I watch all the time, his name's Clean, and he loves Stalker. So I'm just like, shit, man. I gotta give Stalker a try. Have to. But honestly, games right now are just fucking boring, dude. I try to sit down. Like, my buddy Caleb just texted me. He's like, hey, man, I'm on Discord whenever you're ready. I'm just like, fuck, dude. Games just suck. They suck. But, you know, I got into playing a little bit older games that I used to play. I mean, not old. I don't know why I said old, but they're older, I guess. I just bought WWE 13 because I've been watching a little bit of like old school WWE clips again. I was like, fuck, dude. I remember when I got hyped as shit on that. Like, I watched a video of the Hardy Boys coming back for WrestleMania. I was like, what? Because they were having like a triple threat tag team match, which is 6 people in the ring, like 3 teams of 2. And it was a tables, ladders, and chairs match. And if you know anything about wrestling, the Hardy Boys pretty much founded ladder matches. Like, they jump off that shit, put people through tables, just doing reckless shit. And for them to come back to that match, because like the hosts they made it seem like they were about to put themselves in this match. And they start walking down. They slow down. The Hardy Boys music comes on. Everyone starts freaking the fuck out. And they come out. Jeff Hardy does his fucking shit. And this entire time, goosebumps, dude. Like, my arms are fucking just, half chub, you know? Just fucking cheesing. And they just run down there and they win the fucking tag team championship. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I've just been on a binge of watching old school shit. Like, I watched the what is it? The Summer of Nexus, which was like CM Punk, Wade Barrett, like that whole group just tormenting John Cena, ripping shit up. I watched Edge come back. Edge is like one of the greatest fucking guys in wrestling. Like, he's just a badass. So I bought the game. And that's all I've played in the last few days since I've had it. All I've played. I finished the Attitude Era. So that's like Steve Austin, Undertaker, Kane, Mankind, like that whole DX era. Montreal Screwjob, stuff like that. Those games are just fucking fire, dude. I recreated Jeff Hardy in that fucking game just because I love Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy might be my favorite wrestler of all time. He's just a fucking psycho. I don't know, man. Just nostalgia. You know, I remember watching, was it John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania? I think it might have been that match. At one of my buddy's house when I still lived in Hawaii, I think. Or it might have been when no, it had to have been Hawaii. Went over to his house, like, one time. Because, like, when I lived there, that's the time I was super into WWE. And, like, in my area, there was, like, a group of 10 kids who fucking loved it just as much as I did. So we would all get together at the community center in the park, like the playground, and, like, fucking wrestle. But we didn't do it, like, fake. We fucking dropped people off of shit. Like, there was a pirate ship, and we would climb it, fucking throw people off of it. Like, I'm surprised I'm not more fucked up, like, than I am. Like, my back, I have a bad back. I guarantee it's because I got thrown off of some shit. I never once told my parents about this. They figured out that I was wrestling there, and they told me to stop. I didn't fucking stop. What? I still threw people off. I got kicked in the fucking throat once. Dude. That shit hurts. So anyway, I went over to one of my friend's houses to watch. I can't remember which WrestleMania it was. Or wait, was it SummerSlam? Oh shit, it might have been SummerSlam. It might have been Randy Orton versus Christian for the World Heavyweight Championship. Was it WWE Championship? I don't fucking know. Whatever it was. It was either SummerSlam or WrestleMania. We were just hyped as shit, dude. Like, I sat around with his entire family who I had just met and fucking screamed at the top of my lungs at every single match because they were all fucking bangers. Fuck, man. That shit was good. But, yeah. Like, back on games for a little bit. I've just been wanting to make more videos and shit and be a little more productive. That's why I kind of started this. Just so I have something to do for an hour that I know is going to, like, be out there and I can show something. You know, just talking about whatever the fuck I want to talk about, really. Yeah. Not to end it on like a weird note. But yeah. I will say, what's it called? Because I publish all of these through Anchor. They're owned by Spotify. It's just like a podcasting app. So it puts it all to Spotify and we're on Spotify, YouTube, Breaker, Pocket Casts. We should be on Google Podcasts relatively soon, and it'll keep distributing as much as it can over to all the podcasting apps. So, whatever you want to use, you pretty much can find the show there. All the major podcast apps. And I do have the option to put in ads on Anchor. So I don't want to say I'm not going to do it yet. I might do it eventually. I don't know. It just kind of depends. Because I remember, just quickly before I wrap it up, I remember watching a video, I think it was a Peter McKinnon video, where he was with Casey Neistat. He was talking about how Casey didn't monetize the first 100 million views on his channel. So, Bike Lanes, that, his first big, short film. He didn't monetize his first 100 million views. And he found, other ways to make money, shit like that. So I kind of just want to wait. Because I don't want to, barrage this shit with ads. Which I think is what made the other podcast I did with Caleb not that much fun. Because we had to do an ad read. Or we didn't have to do an ad read. We chose to do an ad read. And that kind of made me think, oh, well, if we're doing this and there's potential money, I want to watch how much money we make. And that's kind of why I stopped doing Twitch, too. Just because I was focusing on that. I was like, I don't want it. Kind of makes it hard to be a freelancer because you're kind of forced to worry about how much money you're making, but whatever. Weird end, but we're going to fucking leave it there. You can watch this on really any podcast shit and YouTube, like I said before. And, episode 3 will be out next week, probably in a different location, probably downstairs, maybe somewhere in my room. I don't fucking know. But, I will, I don't know how to fucking end this. See ya.